right, we live, bro.
Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praise and honor and glory due to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Ba'ashem
Takadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to all the Akim after the four corners teaching the truth and sincerity. It's the Stasha Require Mod here with the brother
Shalom.
Of the GMS Dallas camp, coming at you with a quick lesson. Lord's will is edifying unto the hopeful elect. Because of the things that we see that's playing out upon the earth, it's prophecy, all right? And these things are meant to be seen for the elect to understand the times that they're in, okay? Do you have any precepts?
Yeah, I have 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest."
The end is manifest. The end is manifesting itself, in front of the whole world. Right? Everybody sees it, so nobody can neglect it. All right, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has been foretold over these my bad, over these 2,000 plus years. All right, and through the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, through the elders and apostles of GMS, all right, that worship Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai in spirit and in truth. All right, they have spiritual jewels. Okay, these jewels that if you don't understand it, you gotta go back and watch from the beginning, because you gotta understand this thing of ours. All right, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has put everything in proper place, everything in proper order. But Babu Shah,
the point was in verse 6, 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs."
What's that scripture? It's better to see the end of a thing than the beginning of one.
Let me get that.
Because what are we about to see? We're about to see the end of a kingdom. All right. I mean, it was never great.
Well, yeah.
But it was here. It was Rome 2.0. Babylon the Great.
Yep. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 8. It says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit."
So the patient, waiting upon Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai.
Yep.
All right, that's patience. And patience is affliction and adversity. All right. So as you're going through your adversity, you will be afflicted. And is that not our people, which consists of your so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans of Negroid descent? All right, have we not been afflicted? But all this is due because of our transgressions, because we went off from Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. All right, these things were said and needed to be done. Babu Shah.
You can read it again.
Babu Shah.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. It says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." And you can apply this scripture to, it applies to a lot of things, but it made me think about, your walk. Brothers that have been, in the truth for X amount of time. All right. You're not supposed to be at the same place that you were when you began. All right. You're supposed to be maturing through the spirit. Right. That's why the scripture says better is the end of a thing. All right. The goal of this thing ultimately is to be conformed to the image of who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. All right. Who we know as Yahweh Shah. All right. We're looking to be conformed in his image. All right. To operate on a level,
it's kingdom minded.
Right. On a higher level. That's what we've been called to do. But it also made me think about Babylon the Great.
Yeah.
Right? We know that, these people are fucking through, they're depressed, they hate their life, right? But really, it's because Esau's getting to the apex of his his enterprise, his wickedness.
Yeah.
He's in a very powerful state right now, but we already know that the rug is getting ready to be pulled right from underneath him.
And it's not just in Babylon the Great, because like Rome, they have a region. All right, Babylon the Great has the whole known world.
Many waters.
Many waters in their wickedness. All right, so the whole world is feeling the sting.
Right.
The whole world is groaning, for the end of their captivity. Okay, but that's why I like that Matthew chapter 13 verse 11, because blessed is you, because the kingdom of heaven is in you, loosely paraphrased, because it's only through Yahweh Shemi Shai that this world is going to be at peace, if I'm saying that properly. Because yeah, they're hoping not to be under Esau's heel, okay, but they don't properly understand how that will come about. And it's only going to happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai, putting Esau down.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. I got some.
You got it.
And whenever you want to go into the other ones, just let me know. This is Sirach chapter 10. All right, like you said, laying back on your point, this is Sirach 10 and verse 3 and 4. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
City shall be inhabited. Unwise king, Esau Edom.
Right.
Right. Esau Edom is that unwise king. All right.
100%.
He's that Nigar in that Ecclesiastes chapter 14 verse 4.
Yep.
All right. He doesn't. He does things spontaneously, or that word slipped my mind. So like it. Lord will come back.
Or like sporadically.
Yeah.
Impulsively.
Impulsively.
Esau
is impulsive. That's why he couldn't wait.
Right.
To until the food was done.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Because he's impulsive.
Yep.
And that's how Yahweh Shemi Shai set this whole thing up.
Yeah. Oh, that's the spirit. I gotta get this real quick, bro.
You got it.
Just because you made that word triggered a preset real quick. This is Revelation chapter 10. Or not Revelation 10.
You can get.
This is Salaki.
You got it.
Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Look up that word in inhabitants.
Yep, because you made that point about Esau's impulsivity.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's going to get to the point where Esau is just going to react. He's just going, because we know he's got plans. He got these long, drawn-out plans on what he want to do. But eventually, Yahweh Shemi Shai and the spirit of prophecy is going to make him move.
Yeah, because he's like a cornered animal.
Right.
All right, and they're just going to lash at whatever comes to him.
Right.
All right.
This is that word inhabitors, Strong's G2730. Katakeo. And it says to dwell, to settle. Metaphorically, it says divine powers, influences, to dwell, inhabit, to house permanently, i.e. reside, dweller, inhabitor. So
the dweller, goes into faith, because they don't have any power, all right, the inhabitor, because this world is really ours, but
yep.
All that to say, Esau Edom is about to lash out, because he's about to be cornered on every side.
Right.
Did you hear about Israel trying to? America and Israel's trying to cut ties, but we know through prophecy that that's not going to happen.
Uh-huh.
You know, we know that those are the two that's going to be Avery and Ivory.
Uh-huh.
You know, going into a missile. You know,
Uh-huh.
but
what you want?
You can pull the next one.
Okay, Con. I got 1 Thessalonians 5 and Ecclesiastes 3.
Con, give me 1 Thessalonians.
Or matter of fact, Salaki, I gotta finish out the Sirach 10.
Okay, Con, Salaki.
This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4. It says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable."
And the one that is profitable is Yahweh Shemel Shai, because he's going to set the world in order.
Right.
You know, pull that Wisdom of Solomon 9. I think it's 14 and 15. Abarakazai. You know, because it gave the blueprint. Everything is written for our learning.
This is Sirach chapter 9, and I'll start at verse 13. It says, "For what is a man that he can know the counsel of the Most High, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain."
God, that's not the one, but that's still a good one. I think it's 8. Because it goes into how about Shemel Shai set the world in order.
Yep. And those miserable thoughts, right, of mortal men, we see that playing out with Esau. Right? This government, the image of the beast, right, which is basically, Western civilization. All right.
He thinks he's gonna win.
Right, he thinks he's gonna win, but it's nothing but a byproduct of his wicked thoughts.
Yeah, this is pride.
And imaginations, right, and his pride.
Salakia, didn't mean to cut you off.
You good, huh?
All right.
Right, and the primary device that we see him setting up is the NWO. The C-hip.
You know, everything's written. Everything's written for our learning. But yeah, it's that Wisdom of Solomon 8, 14.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8, verse 14 and 15. It says, "I shall set the people in order, and the nations shall be subject unto me."
And that's the precept to that Sirach 10. You know, because it said that he will set up one that is profitable. All right, and it's how about Shemel Shai? All right, read 15.
Verse 15, it says, "Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do but hear of me. I shall be found good among the multitude and valiant in war."
See, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to be found good amongst the multitude because he's going to tear down all this red tape, you know, and that's why it goes into that Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1, you know, talking about the elect, because the elect is going to be with them, right? Yep. But yeah, so horrible tyrants, these presidents, these kings, these governments that's around the world that think they're going to make it through this next World War III. You know, think they're going to rise up from the ashes like the phoenix, you know, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's putting everybody to hell. Everybody's going to have to come subject unto the elect. Well, Yahweh Shemel Shai, King David, the 144,000, all right, in the great multitude.
Precept for you.
Bible shot.
Daniel 7 and 18, it says, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever."
See, and that's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai coming back upon the earth. You know, because judgment is going to be implemented.
Right.
All right. Judgment is about to be implemented on everybody. All right. And Abarakazai, you know, we are handled with care, you know, because this whole known world has had a taste of our downfall. The world has literally kicked the can down the road until Yahweh Shemel Shai is about to implement mass judgment.
Yep. But, and that's part of the reason why the planet Earth is in such a decrepit, dilapidated state, you know, because the heathen, primarily Esau, who is the enemy, who will never recognize the truth, right, on a mainstream level. But the heathen as well. They know, like, and then the thing is too, these people fucking know. They know who they know, bro. Like, it's really Jake. It's just Jake, dumbass Jake, that refused to get right and believe. But even the heathen know that. Why do you think they spend so much goddamn money
to keep this
right doing what they're doing?
Because like they can feel it in their spirits.
Yep.
Like, people that see, brothers out in public, they know that, oh, these guys walk different. They're not the same as, Ray Ray and Pookie.
Right.
All right. And only through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, because he has transformed our mind.
Right.
All right. Or what's the other term? Brainwashed. He has brainwashed us to make our minds more pure, to get rid of the filth.
That baptism.
Yeah.
Yep.
The dipping of the water. But the ultimate baptism is that fire, that cleansing agent. Okay, that thing that burns away the dross and leaves the pillar of gold.
Yep.
Yep. But
this is let me see. I'm gonna get this 1 Thessalonians 5.
Bible shot.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night."
And we see the buildup of it, but we don't know when it's going to pop. All right, because Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, even Yahweh Shai don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, if Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, the second in command, well, now he's sitting on the throne, Salakia, of everything, doesn't know whenever the Most High Yahweh is going to say, move upon the earth.
Yep.
Whenever the four winds are let loose, whenever holy hell happens all around, in a sporadic, moment, so that's why the fear of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai is needed. All right, and if you don't have it, you're gonna get caught out in it.
Yep. Great point. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, he wants a certain level of excitement and uncertainty, in the movie. Like, you go to a movie, like, the best movies are unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what that does is it weeds out all the undesirables. They're gonna get left behind. They ain't gonna know what the fuck's going on. They're gonna get caught up in the madness.
And that's the suspense.
Right.
All right.
Right.
He wants a level of suspense.
Yep, that's the word. Yep.
That's going to be like, oh shit.
Yep.
I didn't see that coming.
Right.
Yep. And through the spirit, like with all these wars and rumors of wars, with Pakistan going up against India, with China trying to get in the mix to calm shit down, but China has an out with America, and it's a big ass shit show. It's a huge shit show. Iran, Israel, those two, we know through prophecy that those two are going to be the main characters, to spark this next world war. All right, but we don't know when it's going to happen.
God.
All right,
we know we're close.
But yeah,
and
we see it.
We see the Lord setting the stage. I wanted to define that word that you got, suspense. There's a couple of definitions when you just type it in on the search. It says anxiety or apprehension resulting from an uncertain, undecided, or mysterious situation.
That's Esau Edom. He sees some of the shit happening. He's gonna feel it in his bowels.
Yeah, he's getting anxious.
Yeah, he don't know whether to eat the food and sit down,
right,
or to he thinks he's in good case.
Right. He's trying to convince himself.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
It's okay. Nah, nigga, shit about to go down.
Right.
Yeah, but
the second definition says the quality in a work of narrative art, such as a novel or film, that causes the audience to experience pleasurable excitement and anticipation regarding an outcome.
Now that's the elect.
Right.
Yep. That's the elect. The elect is watching. Mm-hmm. We've been popping bottles and everything, man. Calling out by Shemel Shai, giving praises and honor and glory unto our power that's setting these things in place.
Right.
You know?
Quick one.
You got it.
This is Matthew 13:16. It says, "But blessed are your eyes for they see, and your ears for they hear." You got it.
You know, keep going on that because it's going to talk about the men before wanted to see these things.
Yep. Verse 17 says, "For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them."
See, so many great prophets and kings have wanted to see these things.
Right.
All right, but those great prophets and kings are back here today.
Yep.
All right,
yep.
And they're in flesh because just like Ezra, you know, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? All right, he understood reincarnation. Okay, we are understanding reincarnation, how we could possibly be those kings and priests from time of old, you know, into modern form, you know, to see how about Shemel Shai cracking clouds.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's a beautiful precept, right? Because Satan will try to steal your joy. He'll try to steal your excitement for this thing. Like, you know, yes, we marinate, you know, in the fear of the Lord. We operate within the fear of the Lord. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't still be excited, right? You should still be excited to see, you know, the establishment of the kingdom, man, and the crumbling of this kingdom. Like the brother said, you know, it's a beautiful thing.
You know, because everything that we see that is like exciting to chant about, every brother feels it because in the back of their head they're like, "Call it about Shemel Shai, call it. We almost out of here." You know, but you know, we have to be patient.
Yep.
You know,
okay, I'll jump back. Or how far did you want to go in the 1 Thessalonians 5? Because we got verse 1 and 2. Yeah. Peace and safety.
Peace and safety.
God. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape."
And the reason why I wanted to get that is because Trump is trying to set up the American dollar to where it has power, but as we can tell that this dollar isn't worth shit. All right, your financial system is crumbling in front of you. All right, but yet no, we're good. Right. Peace and safety.
Right.
You think your storehouses are still full. Yep. All right. China has cut you off. Yep. Everything's about to fall.
Yeah, that's the thing about the mainstream media. The mainstream media is witchcraft because on one tip they want you to operate in fear, right, and anxiety to a certain extent because then they can manipulate and control you. But on another tip, you know. Slacky, what? I'm sorry. The point you just made. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the point you just made?
Nah, like they want you to feel, you know, both ways at the same time. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
They want you to feel, oh, we're good. You know, let's make America great again.
Right. Okay. Tawada. Because then on the other hand, they want to keep you distracted at the same time. Yeah. Right. With the circus and pony shows, sports. Right, all this other bullshit,
and that's just the Roman quality. Because what did Rome do? Rome did the bread and circuses. Right. Okay, Nero. What did Nero do? He blamed everything on the Israelites. Mm-hmm. All right, and made a whole nation hate a group of people.
Yep.
All right, and that's what's about to come down. That's what's about to, you know, be shown openly. All right, because and not to go too far off the point, but we're about to be the problem. All right, and it's all through the strength and power of Yahweh Shemi Arshai. Because whenever Esau rose on us, that's whenever the Most High gets to show His power through us. Ecclesiasticus 36. All right, show new signs and other strange wonders. You know, because this is going to be new to be seen, but it's not going to be new to actually happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like Trump, all these Trump can't the Trump heads, or I don't know what they're called.
Like his cabinet?
Nah, like the people that follow
supporters.
Yeah, the supporters. You know, that they're bro. I talk to these people, man. They are bugged out their fucking mind. They think, oh, he only had 3 months. Oh, he only had 6 months. He can't fix the whole world. And bro, he's not trying to fix shit. The only thing that we as being, you know, Aparatah, the hopeful elect, you know, we are watching the downfall of the kingdom, and and it's joyous, you know, it's joyous. But do you have anything else? All right, you know, I don't have anything else. But Aparatah, you know, we come into this one more time. So with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Yahushai by Shemi Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of GMS. Shalom and shalom.
Shalom.